Hey there everybody and welcome. My name's Rick Husser here with AirgunWeb, your home for old school airgun reviews and where we tell you the facts, not fluff. Today's video is going to be kind of a fun one. I recently did a video on the Barra 1100Z, get those numbers and names right. And it's a 177. We were shooting at 30 yards and it was kind of fun. I mean, groups were around an inch or so and great little backyard gun. It did bring up some questions though from some folks about what's the difference between like an entry-level gun like the Barra, it's just under $300, and a more high-end gun, still 177 like this Air Arms here. There are some pretty big differences, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So before we get started, I want to let you guys know this video is brought to you by Air Arms. They've been a sponsor for many, many years. Claire and all the folks over there, they build exceptionally good air guns. Probably my favorite airgun brand. So this is certainly not a hardship for me to come out here and shoot this today. Just a really, really solid air gun with tons of great features. And yes, they are going to be higher on the price scale, but really in today's sort of airgun market, they're sort of middle of the road on the price scale because there's a lot of guns that are costing a whole lot more, but I don't think they're performing a whole lot better. So let's talk a little bit about, this particular Air Arms and why I'm kind of doing this video. So first off, whether you're shooting a budget air gun or whether you're shooting a high-end air gun, I'm glad you're shooting air guns. So I am not trying to discourage anyone from getting an entry-level PCP. If you don't have a PCP and that's where you're starting, awesome, start there. And if you like it and you grow with the sport, great. If you just stick with that and you're pleased with that and you're happy with that for the rest of your air gunning, great. I'm not trying to say that you gotta go high end or you have to go low end. That's not at all the point. But I do want to call out there are some differences between a low end gun and a high end gun, and the price is pretty justified in why this gun's $1,400 and the others maybe $300-400 on that price point end. So let's talk a little bit about some of these differences. First off, Air Arms comes in a really, really nice stock. I love their ambidextrous stocks. Now, they do have the new tactical line, and that tactical stock's actually available as an add-on. I'm going to be getting one of those, and I'm going to be converting this. It's going to be a video. Hopefully, we'll do, before the end of the year here, we'll be able to do a video converting this over to the tactical, which I'm pretty excited about because I do like that chassis on this gun, and it just drops in, which is very cool. Some of the other differences: it's got a match trigger. It's fully adjustable, so on average, out of the box, you're looking at sub 2 pounds, sometimes sub 1 pound, one and a little bit on the trigger pull, which is very good. Has a Lothar-Walther match barrel. Everything in this is machined and designed with premium materials. That's the other side of it, and you can certainly tell the difference when you're cycling it and when you're pulling the trigger. When you pick it up and you shoulder it, when you look at the bluing on the gun, you can tell that the materials, there are a different level of materials, definitely a higher quality materials. Not only that, a lot of the lower end guns, and this is not always the case, there's some entry-level guns now that are regulated, but there's a difference between just slapping a regulator in a gun and having an air gun system that's already got a really good valve and adding a regulator to it. And that's what Air Arms did. They already had a really good valve, a really consistent, unregulated valve that worked very, very well. When you add a regulator to that system, now you're starting to get some really, really good consistency. So one of the things we're going to do today, we do have some wind coming in. You probably can't hear it on this mic because it's pretty well protected, but we've got it coming sort of right like this, and it's picking up. We may have some weather coming in. So I've set up at 30 yards. So we're going to shoot 2 10-shot groups at 30 yards, see how we do. And if it's shooting well, we're probably going to go ahead and push it to 50. If I don't do that today, I will do that another day when we have a little better conditions. We are running a 177, and they can get pushed around a bit with the wind. But this thing does really good even in the wind. So let's go ahead and do some shooting. I am going to be getting some crony numbers so that we can, take a look at the consistency. One of the things you get, say on an entry-level PCP that's unregulated, you're going to have a bit of a shot curve. I think some of the guns we've looked at may have over 100 foot per second shot curve, which that's certainly going to affect your accuracy. Or you've got to find the narrow band that's like your optimal band, and then you're going to lose shot count. Well, a properly valved and regulated gun will give you a very flat shot curve and high shot count. And that's what we have here with the Air Arms S510 XS. Now this is the Stealth Carbine, so a little bit shorter. It has a suppressor on the end, so it's super quiet. Let's go ahead and do some shooting though. We've done enough talking. I need to probably start my camera. And again, we are at 30 yards. And we've got a pretty good wind coming in today. Let me get this other camera started. I'll be right back. For our testing today, and I've done a little bit of shooting before we got going here, given a little bit of wind, the 10.3s are doing better than the 8.4s, so we're going to be shooting the 10.3s. And these are the JSB 10.3s. That's what we're going to be shooting today. All right, here we go. I am running high power. This does have variable power. That's a transfer port restrictor. So it doesn't change the regulator. The regulator stays put. But it just changes how much air gets put out the barrel. All right, so we're going to aim dead center. Start there. See how we do here.
1009. 1002. 1002. 1002. 1007. 1007. 1007. 1007. 1007. 1011.
Okay, so extreme spread on that was 9. Standard deviation was 3.1. That's pretty awesome. I mean, that is what you would expect out of a $1,400 air gun for sure. The other thing I'll say, which is really cool about an Air Arms line or Air Arms gun, and really you'll get this with any of the higher dollar guns, is this does this out of the box. There's no modifications I need to do with this gun. I don't need to do anything other than air it up, put pellets in it, and shoot it. And these are the results you get. These guns fall, for me, they go straight into that boringly accurate category without a shadow of a doubt. These things just shoot very, very well right out of the gate. So let me go to the top target. Okay, so one good group is one thing, 2 good groups is another thing. So we want to show consistency, so that's why I'm going to do a second 10-shot group here. And I'm also going to keep the Crony running on the same string.
1004. 1004. 1009. 1007. 1007. 1007. 1007. 1007. 1007. 1009.
Okay, so spread still 9 feet per second. The standard deviation has dropped to 2.5. And essentially I just carved out the center of that target, which is about that big. That is the difference, okay? This is one of the things that it really is impressive when you get into this sort of price point of an air gun. They really do shoot better, or generally speaking, they really do shoot better. It may not always be the case, but in my experience with Air Arms, and I've shot 177, 22, and 25, and this is what they give you. Absolutely no work, no effort, as in the sense of having to figure stuff out. They just shoot. That's what you're paying for. I mean, that's what you're paying for. Again, I don't want to discourage anyone from looking at entry-level air guns because they definitely fill a niche in the market. I enjoy shooting the entry-level guns. I've got the new Barra 1100Z in 22 caliber. Can't wait to show you that one because that's going to be a 50-yard gun out of the box. So I am a fan of the entry-level stuff, but there is a difference when you guys start looking at air guns that are, well, higher on the price scale. They do start delivering a lot of accuracy and consistency. I'm pretty impressed with this. What I want to do now is, let me see what I am shot count wise. Gosh, you know. Now I'm going to go top this off. I don't want to short us if we're going to be shooting at 50 yards. I'm going to go top this off, and then I think we should go ahead and give 50 yards a shot. I may need to shoot 3 groups. The first group sort of suss things out where I'm landing, and then use my mil dots here in my scope to shoot for 2 accuracy groups. So let me go top this off. I'll be right back. All right, I know I say it a lot, but I'm using my camera way back here because between the wind that comes up, or we may actually get some rain today, I don't want my gear to be caught out there in the elements. So the target at 50 may be a little fuzzy, but it's because I've got the camera way back here and I'm zoomed all the way in. So that's how that works. So we'll have pictures of the target so you guys can see what we got anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot at 50. I'm pretty sure I know where the pellets are gonna land, so I'm gonna try the center target first and just see where things go. And then we will go ahead and shoot for groups, and the wind's picking up. We'll see if it's gonna give us a fit. 50 yards is a stretch for a 177. I don't care, you know, what class of gun you've got, 50 yards is a stretch. Oh, let's do this too. Let's save this string. We'll start a new string. So I'm probably gonna shoot 30 shots on this run, just because we'll get a sight in, kind of so I can see where things are, and then we'll shoot for accuracy. Okay, and for the scope today, I'm running the Hawke Vantage. This is the 30 wide angle side focus, really, really nice scope for a gun like this. I think it's a little under 500 bucks. It's a very, very nice scope. It's 4:16, so it's not like a super high magnification. I really like the first focal plane. This is a hunting gun for me, so I like the fact that if I'm, you know, 1 mil holdover at 4 power, I'm going to be 1 mil a holdover at 16 power. So I really like that fact. So anyway, that's just the optic I happen to run running today. Okay, let's see here.
1009.
Little right.
1004. 1007. 1004. 1007. 1007.
The wind's shifted position, now it's coming this way. Yeah, it's really pushing hard.
1004. 1007. 1009.
Okay. Extreme spread on that was 5. Standard deviation was 2. Let's go ahead and we'll shoot the target above it. And I'm going to try and keep all my shots in the black. Let's see if I can do it. So 50 yards, 177 in the wind. It's a challenge, guys. Okay, top target.
1004.
Pushed over.
1004.
Same hole.
1007. 1009. 1,007.
Flies. Okay.
1,007.
I really, 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 really hate flies.
One thousand seven. 1,007. 1,007. 1,000.
Ooh, that really flew. Okay, let's do one more mag. It all depends on the wind's blowing. When the wind's calm, it'll go right in the black. When it's not, nope, it cannot stay steady when there's wind out there. Good bit of wind coming through right now. Let's even wait it out for just a minute. Oh yeah, there's a little dust devil coming through. Oh, it missed us, good. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go for the bottom. Oh, B, let's see if it'll calm down for me.
One 1,009. 1,007. 1,004. 1,007. 1,007. 1,007. 1,009. 1,007. 1,007. 1,004.
Yeah, that last group was pretty good. Push to the right a little bit, but not bad. Let me go grab those targets. We'll wrap this up. All right, so let's go through it, right? Okay, so first of all, 30 shots, spread of 5, standard deviation of 1.8. Okay, that's what I'm saying when it comes down to when you already have a really good valve and a really great system, and then you add a regulator, man, now you're taking it to the next level. Air Arms did that with their XS. When they regulated their guns, they sort of were like, you know, we already have a really good valve, but they did regulate it, and man, you can see this. This is 30 shots with an extreme spread of 5. I mean, come on now. All right, I think that's pretty awesome. All right, so first things, we'll look at our 30 yard, and as you look at that, I mean, that's what you expect, right? I mean, if you're spending this kind of money, it better by God give you these kind of results, and it better do it with little to no effort as far as having to work for it. That's what this could do all day long, every day, right out of the box. That's what you ought to be getting. This is what I get for my Air Arms guns. I call them boringly accurate for a reason, because that's what they deliver. Now, when you start stretching a 177 out to 50 yards in the wind, you're asking for a challenge. So let's see here. We had a challenge, but it wasn't bad. Our first sort of sighting things in was right here, and minus this one that kind of pushed far to the right, not too bad, really. I mean, they're all pushing to the right somewhat. And that is really just the way the wind is blowing down there. It's blowing significantly. Now, up here, this one was when the wind was the worst. So you can see that when the wind is really blowing, trying to take accuracy shots at 50 yards is going to be tough. Now this, the wind had calmed down, still pushing a little bit to the right, but that's all day under an inch. And you can see if we had really like pristine conditions, there's no reason I wouldn't expect groups like this at 50 yards if conditions were right and the guy behind the trigger was doing his job or her job properly. This is, I just think that's awesome. To be able to sit down here in the wind with a 177 and plink like that, to me that's impressive. And again, consistency, you guys heard the shots, like 1,007 seems to be its favorite number, doesn't it? You heard that a lot. But on that 30 shots, extreme spread was 5. Standard deviation of 1.8. So just a really, really good showing from Air Arms. So you guys know that I love the Air Arms line of guns. They are a favorite. I love not only the products, but I love the management. I love Claire and all those guys and gals over there that build these and bring these things to market because they have a love for the sport and it really shows. Guys, if you're interested in the higher end stuff, Air Arms or other brands, don't shy away from it. Jump in and you are going to get some better performance. On the other side of it, if you're looking at some of the entry level stuff and going, gosh, should I get that? Well, if that's where your budget's at, jump in, get it, have fun, enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with starting out with a $300 PCP and working your way up to something like this. You may have a little more of a challenge at the lower end, but that's okay. You're going to learn how to shoot, and you're going to learn how to make that gun shoot that much better. And then as you progress to a gun like this, you're going to have a lot of skill set under your belt that's going to make you a better shooter with one of these too. So you're definitely not going to be wasting energy or money if you go on the lower end and work your way up. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed shooting it, and this is why I love airgunning, get out and do stuff like this. That's going to be it for now. My name's Rick Utzer here with AirgunWeb, your home for old school airgun reviews, and where we tell you the facts, not fluff. Thanks for watching.